You ever had $100 in your hand and you thought, how can I make this money grow? Well, maybe it's your dream to turn it into $1,000 or $10,000 or even more someday. Now, if this sounds like you, this is the video for you. This channel is Everyday Wealth, and today I'm breaking down 7 super simple ways to invest $100 even if you've never invested before. Now, investing, it can feel intimidating. Now, trust me, I know, because schools don't teach us how to grow our money, which is really a shame because it's a skill that anybody can learn. Now, I started my investing journey with just $100, and now I'm here to share with you what I've learned on how I became financially independent and to help you to take that first step. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just an average guy, and I'm not selling you anything. I'm just someone who's been exactly where you are, and I want to make sure this is super easy to understand as possible. So here's the plan. We'll start with super safe options, and then we're going to gradually work up to higher risk, higher reward choices, so you can pick out whichever one fits your comfort level. So give me a thumbs up for more money growing tips. Let's do this. First off, the high yield savings account. Now, this is a 1 out of 10 on the risk scale. It's basically as safe as it gets. But with interest rates fluctuating, high yield savings accounts are offering some of the best rates that we've seen in years. Sometimes you can get 2 to 4% annually, depending upon the bank. So why do you even start here? Well, it's not about earning the interest, but it's about building that emergency fund. Because life happens. Look, maybe your car breaks down or you get hit with an unexpected bill. Having cash in a high-yield savings account means that you can cover those surprises without going into a credit card debt or into further debt. For example, when my car needs tires, because I have an emergency fund, I pay for new ones and I don't stress out with crazy credit card fees. So when choosing a high-yield savings account, you want to look for 2 things. That's the competitive interest rate. Check out banks like Ally or Sophie or Discover because they offer some of the best rates. You got instant access to your money with no lock-in periods. It's super easy to do, and this is your foundation. Safe, steady, and ready for emergencies. Let's talk about Treasury Bills or T-bills. I'll give this one a 1.5 out of 10 on the risk scale. Now, T-bills are short-term loans that you give the U.S. government. Yep, you're helping Uncle Sam himself, and they're backed by the government, so they're incredibly safe, and they're yielding about 4 to 5% on terms as short as 4 weeks to a year. So why T-bills? Well, they're a great way to park your $100 and earn a little bit more money than a savings account without locking your money up for a real long time. For example, if you invest $100 in a 6-month T-bill and you get 4.5%, you're going to get back about $102.25. Now, it's not life-changing, I know, but it is guaranteed growth. Here's how you do it. You go to treasurydirect.gov or use a broker like Fidelity or Schwab. Choose a T-bill term, 4 weeks, 6 months, whatever works for you. You invest your $100, and when it matures, you get your money back plus interest. And if you want safe and simple, T-bills are a fantastic first step. All right, let's step our game up a little bit with low-cost index funds. Now, this is a 3 out of 10 on the risk scale, and it's one of my favorite ways to invest. An index fund is like a basket of stocks, like the S&P 500, which includes all the top companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. Now, you're spreading your $100 across hundreds of companies, so you reduce your risk. But here's the magic. It's compound interest. So if you invest $100 monthly in an S&P 500 index fund with an average of 7% annual return, guess what? In 30 years, you're going to have over $121,000. That's the power of starting small and staying consistent. But listen to this. Warren Buffett himself bets on index funds. In 2017, he won a $1 million bet by proving they outperform the most fancy hedge funds. And to make it even better, you can put your index fund into a tax-advantaged account, like a Roth IRA here in the US or an ISA in the UK. And these containers let your profits grow tax-free. And there's a yearly contribution limit, so you want to start this early. Investing $100 in Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF, it's VOO, you don't need to buy the whole share. Fractional shares make it super easy. And brokers like Vanguard, Fidelity, and Schwab are really great for this. Is any of this helpful so far? Go ahead and drop a comment and let me know. Up next is real estate investment trusts, or REITs. Now, this is also about a 3 out of 10 on the risk scale. Now, imagine pooling your $100 with thousands of others and buying a shopping mall or an apartment complex. And then the rent from those properties gets paid out to you as dividends. That's a REIT. And REITs let you invest in real estate without buying that house. And REITs are currently currently averaging 8 to 10% in annual returns, and sometimes they're outperforming the S&P 500. For example, Vanguard's VNQ REIT or ETF has delivered about 12% annually over the past decade. Plus, REITs are required to pay out 90% of profits as dividends, so you get the regular cash flow. Now, you want to use a broker like Fidelity to buy a REIT in an ETF. And it's diversified across many properties, so it's really less risky than buying a single building. This is your ticket to real estate investing, hey, without that mortgage. Now let's explore peer-to-peer lending, which I'll rate as a 4 out of 10 on the risk scale. Now, this is where you lend your $100 to individuals or small businesses through platforms like Lending Club or Prosper, and they pay you back with interest. Now, returns can range from 5 to 8%, but there is a catch. Some borrowers might default and not pay you. So why would you even try this? Well, it's a way to earn passive income and help people, like funding small businesses or consolidating somebody's debt. To reduce risk, diversify your $100 across many small loans, like $5 each, and then stick to borrowers with only good credit ratings. So you want to spread that $100 across 20 microloans on Lending Club, and you can check the platform's default rates and then start small and then just test the waters. But this next one, it's one of my favorites. It's time to get hands-on with buying and selling items. Now, this is a 5 out of 10 on the risk scale, depending on your skills. But here's the idea. You buy undervalued items like vintage clothes, collectibles, or electronics, and you can even step up later to cars. But what you do is you sell them for a profit on platforms like eBay or Etsy or Facebook Marketplace. For example, retro games are hot right now. So I bought a pinball machine for $100 on Craigslist and I sold it online for $700. But the key is knowing your niche. Maybe that's sneakers or vinyl records or Pokemon cards. Whatever it is, make sure it's something you have knowledge in and make sure that item is in demand. Now, I've found vintage items listed that are worth 2 and 3 times the amount, and then you can negotiate for that. But this is fun and profitable if you love the hustle. And finally, let's talk about individual stocks. That's a 6.5 out of 10 on that risk scale. Now, here's where you invest your $100 into a single company like Chevron or Coca-Cola or Walmart or Verizon. But you also want to look for features that have a dividend reinvestment. And the potential rewards are big, but there's also some risks because if the company struggles, your investment's going to drop. Now, today, companies in AI, in energy, and healthcare, those are the things that are trending. So I use a fundamental analysis. Pick those stocks. You look at the company's financial health, the leadership, and their market position. You can find all this info on Yahoo Finance and then back it up with an AI search for that particular stock and let them tell you about it. For example, I'm eyeing a small company that develops onshore oil and gas properties in the United States. It's growing fast and has solid earnings. But if you want to make this really fun, you could do a coin toss and randomly pick a stock and see if it beats a lucky strategy. Now, believe it or not, we just invested $100 7 different ways, from super safe to a little bit more adventurous. Now, here's the recap. High yield savings for emergencies, T-bills for guaranteed returns, index funds for steady growth, REITs for real estate income, person-to-person lending for passive returns, and buying and selling for hands-on profit, and stocks for big potential. But investing $100 isn't going to make you any kind of a millionaire overnight, but it is the start of building wealth. But if you pick 1 or 2 of these options to match your goals, you might have multiple streams of income only if you take the first step today. And the earlier you start, the more your money grows. So let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. Does any of this make sense to you? Do you want to see more investments in part 2? Smash that like button and let me know, and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on it. You can check out all the other money tips here on this channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep your money growing.